Hello guys, Crispy here, welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm gonna be testing a GeForce RTX 4070 Ti in the finals. This one is the Palette Game Rock Midnight Kaleidoscope version of the card. We are running it with the latest NVIDIA drivers, and I'm not manually overclocking it. You can see all of its specs right here in Tech PowerUp's GPU 0. Resizable body is also enabled, and we got 12 gigs of GDDR6X at disposal. And over on the left, we're pairing it with my brand new Ryzen 9 7950X3D with half of the cores disabled. The CCD1 is disabled, so it's only using the cores with 3D cache. So it's very similar to a Ryzen 7 7800X3D. And over on the memory tab, we're using 32 gigabytes of DDR5 6000 MHz CL30 RAM. Let's get into it, shall we? Okay, let's go over the settings first. I'm starting at 1080p resolution. We're also going to test higher resolutions in this video, of course. Frame generation is disabled, but I'm also going to try that out. And we're using a resolution scaling method, DLSS, with DLAA first. So this is native res, and it's applying the deep learning anti-aliasing on top of it and making it look better, supposedly, than native resolution. 95 FOV is what we're using as well. Lens distortion, well, I'm actually going to disable that. I don't like it. And down here, we have everything maxed out, including ray tracing, guys, which is set to dynamic epic. All right, here we go. Let's start counting our FPS. Look at this, guys. We're getting 140s, 150s. This is a UE5 title that's actually well optimized, I guess. I mean, it doesn't really have a ton of details compared to other titles, and even with ray tracing epic settings, it doesn't really ray trace everything, right? You could see the reflections there, but it's actually running well, and it's not stuttering whatsoever. That's what I'm surprised about. What the heck, dude? The UE title, no matter the version, not stuttering is... Oh, we got a little stutter there. But that is actually almost unprecedented, guys. We're seeing some vegetation right here. This isn't really the most intensive map either, at least on the beta 7 months ago. It's still on beta, I think, but I played this game 7 months ago with like the GTX 1650, 3060 Ti, and the RTX 4080, and the map with the foresty area and stuff was the most intensive one by far. It drops quite a few FPS there, like expect 20 less frames than what we're getting right here. Okay, come on. No. Can I slide? Yes, thank you very much. All right, we're good. There's more vegetation right here. I'm gonna go down here. Okay, thank you. Damn it. Whoa. Okay, all right, we're fine. What are we gonna do, buddy? Oh, there's a vault. Okay, let's try that out. Again, I don't really remember much about this game. I played it a few times 7 months ago, and that was it. I didn't even master it whatsoever. 159 FPS, that's enough. It's enough for us to see that it's extremely buttery smooth, of course. What if we use some quality DLSS? Oh boy, that jumps it up by like 20 frames per second, I guess. That's pretty good, okay. Look at that, touching 200s, 220s at times. Oh, well, those of you rocking 240Hz monitors, well, this is it. This is for you, my friends. Quality DLSS, it still looks great, although DLAA... What the hell? What was that spawn point? What just happened? DLAA did look a little bit better than DLSS. I can notice the little differences here in softness in the picture, you know, the sharpness as well. It was better with DLAA. There's a little bit of noise in some areas with DLSS. Maybe it was also present with DLAA, you know, but it's more noticeable right here with DLSS indeed. All right, let's go up here. Hello there. Hello, there we go, we got him. One down, let's go. There's another one right there. Can I go up here, please? Okay, there we go. There's something going on right there. Wait a second. No, there's another one down. Okay, cash out. What is that? What is that over there? Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, it's the thing that was supposed to be on top of here, but it's not because this is destructible. Yes, the environment is destructible. It's very interesting. It's like Bad Company 2 all over again, my friends. I'm hearing a ton of steps around us. Jesus Christ. There they are. The bastards. Come on. Oh boy. Let's go. One down. Go over here. Oh boy. Okay. All right. So interesting that you can also build these foam-looking things. We're doing great here with the DLSS, by the way. Very, very good performance, super smooth. Of course, I'm running this at 60 Hz, unfortunately, because of the freaking capture card. So I can't really feel all of those frames. But I can definitely tell you that it feels super responsive like this. Even on a 60 Hz monitor, there are benefits of having super high FPS. And obviously, I know what 200 frames per second feel like. God damn it, I don't know the melee button. So I can tell you that it's going to be extremely, extremely smooth with 152 1% lows, okay? But there is also something else that you can use to increase your FPS even further. DLSS Frame Generation, my friends. And look at that. Oh boy, that's a ton of FPS. Now, the higher the FPS, the less input lag you're gonna notice with frame generation. So I think I would still keep quality DLSS enabled, because if you disable it, you can start noticing the input delay introduced by frame generation. But now the thing is, even with 200 plus frames per second right here, with frame generation, oh my gosh, okay, that was pretty crappy. I can feel a little bit, it's almost negligible, but there is a little bit of input delay that's noticeable compared to what we saw previously, like 200-ish frames per second or 190 on average, you know? So in a competitive game like this, I don't recommend frame generation, even though it seems like it increases your FPS like crazy, and it's good for like a 240 Hz, 360 Hz monitor, for example, at 1080p. It's not good in terms of responsiveness, because you are actually going to be at a little bit of a disadvantage compared to just playing at native 190 frames per second or 200 frames per second. This is, I think, the map where it drops the most, because we got a lot of vegetation right here, and it's still around the same, actually, so it's pretty damn good, guys. I mean, the performance is pretty damn good. Oh, hello there, kind sir. How's it going? There we go. There we go. What is this? A vault? What are we doing with the vault? We're conquering it, I think. Well, I am. I'm alone right here. Oh, thank you very much. Pick up. Okay, so where should we go now? Buddy, please help. Oh boy. Again, if you are playing a competitive title, I would not really use frame generation. All right. Okay, so next up, let's play at 1440p resolution, guys. Here we have it, 2560 by 1440. We're using DLAA, so it's native resolution. Still using epic settings with epic ray tracing. Oh, I just noticed it's RTX global illumination, so it's not really making reflections ray traced. That's why we don't really see anything on the reflections, and it's not as intensive as ray traced reflections, of course. So at native resolution using maxed out settings, it's getting around 90 frames per second. Input lag feels pretty good, of course. It's native input lag with 90 frames per second. It's definitely more than enough, unless you are a very competitive person, of course. In that case, you will want to reduce input lag by increasing frames a lot. Possibly play at like low settings, for example, but we'll get there. This is nice, guys. I really like the destructibility, and the graphics are decent. They're clean, but they're still a little bit detailed in some areas, like textures of the ground and stuff like that. It looks alright, look at that, right? Not bad, especially for 6 GB of VRAM utilization, not even that. Yeah, I like to see this. We've seen a ton of other games that actually do look worse than this on the same engine, and they perform like complete crap. Obviously, 2023 has been the year of the complete crappy performance. Come on, but not with the finals, my friends. And it's great that this game is going to be free to play as well. I mean, it already is. You can download it on Steam and play it for yourselves if you want to. Stop shooting at my teammates. Stop, you bastards. Just fear me, fear us. You cannot come here. I am protecting them. Whoa. Okay, let's go back inside. Look at that bloom effect. They're very nice, actually. Oh! Yep. We're down here again, guys, near the vegetation area, the park, and the FPS are dropping down into the 90s again. I think that's about time for us to move on to DLSS quality, all right? And that 1440p DLSS quality makes a huge difference. Holy crap! We went from 90s. Why is 0 FPS average? We went from 90s on average around this area into the 140s and 130s and even peaking at like 160s. That's a bit crazy. Holy, I did not expect that much of a difference by enabling DLSS. And on top of that, DLSS at 1440p does look a lot better than DLSS at 1080p. So if you want to utilize it, you're not losing much in terms of graphical fidelity, guys. Oh boy, how do I go there, dude? Uh-oh, we're gonna die. We're gonna die. Yeah, it's 3 of them shooting at us. Damn it. But yeah, guys, if you want that high refresh rate experience at 1440p, all you need to do is enable DLSS quality and you're gonna achieve like 30 to 50 more frames per second. I was totally not expecting that. Damn. Especially here, close to the vegetation in the foresty area. Alright, here we go. I guess this is the same map. It's very similar, at least. We got a lot of vegetation as well. Damn, this is lovely to see. A game in UE5 that doesn't stutter and has a lot of FPS. With max graphics and RT lighting as well. Okay, we've seen enough of quality DLSS. Let's enable frame generation. Check it out. Check out the input lag. Yeah, again, it isn't as responsive instantly. You gotta be very, very prone to noticing differences in input delay for you to notice this. But yeah, I can definitely tell that it isn't as responsive. And in a competitive shooter, I think frame generation just has no place, really. I would much rather have those 160 FPS or 150 FPS average that we were seeing, which is still a high refresh rate experience, than a 200 FPS experience, which is gonna look smoother to your eyes on a 240 Hz panel, for example. But again, it's just not as responsive. Come over here, dude. Come over here. Where did he go? Where did he go? There he is. There he is. Bastard. There we go. We got him. All right, so they're down there. Can I break this? Yes. Oh, hello. Hello. Okay. Oh, what is happening here? Jesus, so much foam. It's a foam party right there in the elevator. It's a really nice technology, frame generation, in my opinion. But for single-player titles, or at least games that are not really competitive, because otherwise it can mess around with your aim a little bit. Oh, come on, bro. Okay, with that said, and since we've already established that the use of FG in this game isn't really all that great, at least at 1440p and 1080p, let's bump it up now to 4K. Here we have it, 3840 by 2160. Let's enable DLEA instead of DLSS quality and still using the maximum settings. And here, the 4070 Ti is finally starting to struggle with 50-something frames per second, my friends. Look at that. This is not a competitive experience anymore, although it's a very beautiful one anyways. And, I mean, you can still play. Obviously, it's a little bit harder to control your recoil and stuff like that, but it's not unplayable, right? But you will be at a massive disadvantage compared to everybody else who is probably playing at higher FPS. At least if it was up to me, and even if I was playing on a GTX 1060, for example, I would do everything that I could to play this game at 60 plus FPS all of the time. Hello, hello, Panda Boy. How's it going, Panda Boy? Let's go. I got him. Okay, anybody else around here? No? Alright, I'm gonna enable some quality DLSS because I don't really like these FPS that we're getting right now. Uh-oh. Something exploded there. Quality DLSS. Oh my god! This is almost double the FPS, dude. That's crazy! DLSS in this game makes such a big difference. Holy crap. Alright, well, this is now super smooth and playable indeed. Even on a high refresh rate monitor like 120 Hz, it's gonna feel pretty great. Obviously, you still want more FPS if you want to be competitive, but this is enough for 90% of people, I would say, to be pretty damn good at this game. You won't really be a lot worse. You're not losing a lot in terms of skills, you know, by not having 144 frames per second all of the time, in my opinion. At least I, for example, played my best Counter-Strike back in 2014 or 15 on an FX processor and GTX 760 at 69 FPS locked. Yeah, I feel like this is a perfectly adequate... perfectly adequate performance for 4K. It also looks very similar to 4K resolution here with quality DLSS, 4K native. Come on, dudes. I really need to... What? This guy's so tiny. Jesus. I really need to know how to melee in this game. V? It's V, okay. There we go. Now, DLSS also usually looks pretty decent on performance, okay? If you're playing at 4K resolution, and that is definitely the case. It's just slightly softer, but it doesn't really give you that many more FPS, surprisingly. I was thinking it would get like 150 or something, crazy numbers, but no, not really. Enemies there, hello there, buddy, there we go, double kill right there, very good. Yeah, so on my 42-inch monitor, I can definitely tell that things are a little bit pixelated when I'm like shooting at enemies and they're moving around and stuff, and it's a little bit softer as well, but I think on like a 32-inch monitor at 4K resolution it will look fantastic still, and especially on like a 28-inch or a 27-inch you can't really tell much of a difference at those sizes when you're using 4K performance DLSS. So that's good. If you have a smaller size monitor, which you likely do, performance DLSS will give you like 20 more frames per second on average, and oh my god! And it's gonna become that slight bit smoother on a high refresh rate panel. But let's enable frame generation on top of it and see what kind of FPS we can get. Oh, only 10 more FPS? With FG and performance DLSS, yeah, this is definitely not worth enabling at 4K. If it gave us like 150 frames, I could argue that, well, you do get that added input lag, but if you're playing at 4K, you want visual fidelity above everything else. But with 10 more FPS than performance DLSS, slightly more blurrier of an image, and the added input lag, it's not worth using again. Alright guys, now we're back to 1080p resolution, no frame generation with DLAA, so it's native res, static ray tracing, and the lowest settings aside from view distance, as well as texture quality. So this is like competitive settings. Let's try this out. Alright, here we go. So this is the competitive settings at 1080p resolution. You will need quite the beefy CPU to achieve these FPS. I mean, the game seems to be a little bit better optimized this time around than in the last beta, but last time I tested it on the 13600K and I was getting like 130, 150 frames per second, I believe, maybe 200 at times, while CPU bound. Again, I can't really compare it directly because it was back in another version of the game, earlier version, but sometimes you can see that GPU utilization not maxing out, you know. Goodbye, sir, thank you. I was looking at the GPU usage there. It was going down to like 85%, and this is the same thing as a 7800X 3D, so it's the fastest CPU around. I'm not sure if this game actually takes full advantage of 3D V-cache, but still, it's a very fast CPU, you know, and it's good enough for around like 300 frames per second on average, probably, without a GPU bottleneck. But yeah, if you want that 240 Hz experience, even higher than that sometimes, look at the averages, you know, 274, this is definitely the way to go at 1080p resolution. Again, I don't really recommend 1080p resolution with a 4070 Ti, but if you're one of those people pairing this card with a 1080p high-end monitor, it's gonna work extremely great in the finals, as you can see. Super, super nice experience here. Very competitive one indeed. Now I'm curious to see it with DLSS enabled. I know it's kind of pointless because the FPS are already way too high, But yeah, as you can see with DLSS enabled, sometimes we can achieve 90+% GPU utilization, but now we're fully CPU bound for the most part, at least. Yeah, most of the time we are CPU bound. So the 7800X3D or the 7950X3D without the other CCD enabled, only with the 3D cache one enabled, is good for like 200 to 330 frames per second most of the time, I guess. It goes down into the low 200s at times. But hey, that's very good performance, obviously. And if you require more than that, well, let's try this out with frame generation. I mean, at these insanely high FPS, honestly, I can't really tell the difference anymore in terms of input lag. Maybe it's a little bit higher now, but I'd be lying if I said that I can notice the difference at this point, guys, especially on a 60 Hz monitor. This is... yeah, it's now maxing out our GPU with over 300 frames per second. I guess if you have that 360 Hz monitor, this could be a decent way to play this game, just to achieve those 360 FPS on average with very minimal input delay that's not really noticeable whatsoever. So you can definitely be competitive still. Like this. Come on. Come on. Nice. Got him. Good stuff. Good stuff. I forgot to count our FPS, but they're so high that do we even need to? Right? Of course we do, though. But I'm not sure. Did it already drop from 300? I don't think so, right? This is so high, dude. Oh, look at that. 400 FPS plus over here. So it is possible to achieve 400s, guys. That's kind of insane with 370 average so far. Holy crap. Okay. Look at that inside of here. Sometimes it actually touches 400 FPS as well. Whew. All right. It's time for us to go up to 1440p. Here we have it, 1440p with DLAA right now. No frame generation and the competitive settings. Low settings with epic view distance and epic textures. Okay, it seems like we're getting 200 still. That's pretty insane, especially compared to Epic. I guess the scaling is quite good comparing like highest settings to lowest settings. Well, it's not really lowest settings, everything, but yeah, we went from like 90 frames per second to 200 frames per second. That's really, really good to see. We don't see this kind of scaling in many titles these days, and it still looks reasonably good, you know? Like, it's not terrible looking, the game. Holy crap, you can actually walk on top of the debris as well. That's insane, dude. That's really nice. Oh, we won! Nice! Finally, we won something today. Oh, I think this is the map. This is the most intensive one. We're finally here. Okay, yes. I believe this is it. Not sure, though. This wasn't all, like, dry like this previously. Anyway, we're seeing 200 still. All right, so it's very similar to what we were seeing before, I think, right? I mean, it might actually drop slightly more around here to the 180s, but who is going to complain about this? The only complaint I have is actually the shadow quality is pretty terrible at the lowest settings. But I mean, if you want that really high-end competitive experience, this is actually going to be very, very smooth. Oh, there are sniper rifles as well. Good to see that it doesn't really drop much when you're zooming into things. Smoke effects as well. It dropped into the 170s, but I mean, if the lowest that it drops to is 170 frames per second, you know you're about to have a super buttery smooth experience, right? I'm gonna stop it right there, and I'm gonna enable DLSS on quality, because why not, right? Holy crap! Are you crazy? 300! DLSS quality gave us like 100 frames per second, or at least like 60 frames per second more, while looking very identical to what we saw previously. I can tell that it's a little bit softer, maybe slightly over-sharpened in some areas, but on the 27-inch 1440p monitor, which is the adequate size for this resolution in my opinion, or even on a 32-inch 1440p monitor, it will look insane with quality DLSS still, guys. This is what I expected coming from these very expensive GPUs back when they released. I thought, well, yeah, we're in for extremely high refresh rates at 1440p and 1080p, but then a lot of badly optimized titles started coming out, and I was very sad to see the performance of all of them. But no, we're back here. Oh, hello. I'm gonna, okay, yeah, run into my grenades, buddy. Come on. Come on. Oh, he's so confused. So am I. Jesus. All right, that's enough for quality DLSS. Let me just enable frame generation to see, out of curiosity, what kind of frames we can get. Yeah, it's about the same thing, isn't it? Not worth enabling once again. It's a little bit blurrier at the same time. And it's a little bit more input laggy, although it's very difficult to tell the difference, but I can actually tell the difference here with 200 FPS. All right, now 3840 by 2160 is the resolution. So it's 4K native with DLAA, and it's getting about double of what we saw at the maximum settings. So that's quite nice. On a 120Hz 4K monitor, this is going to perform really smoothly, and it's going to deliver a very, very good experience, even a competitive one, you could say, even though it's not super high FPS, you know, and it's probably going to drop a little bit when we start seeing some action. But yeah, if I was fine with like 90 frames per second on average previously with quality DLSS and the epic settings, now I am even more fine with this, right? All right, let's go. Come on. Kill this guy. There we go. What do you have for me? But where? Weren't you carrying something? Maybe he threw it away? I don't know. Oh, yes, there it is. Okay. He threw it away. Oh my god! Big explosion here. Alright. No! No. Alright. Didn't kill that guy. Somebody else did. I'm scared right now. I'm scared. Hello. Goodbye, sir. Thank you very much for the kill. Now, who is after me? Are they still after me? Oh boy. Alright, great 4K native experience, by the way. Come on, damn it. No, damn it. Okay, explode, please. Explode. There we go. Good stuff. I like the explosions. No! Enabling quality DLSS, you already know, it's gonna get insanely higher FPS. Look at this. So now, on a 144Hz 4K display, you're all set, my friends. Or 165Hz, if that exists. I guess there are 240Hz 4K panels already, aren't there? Come on. Explode that little thing. Didn't I explode that little thing? Where did it go? No! Alright, anyways, let's fly around once again. Try to go to the foresty area. It's not really a forest, like a park. You know, but yeah, as you can see, it is getting us 140 plus still, even here with a lot of vegetation. Nice, another one down. Hello there. How's it going? Thank you. Oh boy. Oh, shouldn't have reloaded. Damn it. I honestly was expecting a little bit worse before I started making this video, but given how many games perform poorly these days, I wasn't really seeing it doing this great of a job at 4K, even at low settings. And quality DLSS looks basically the same once again as native res at 4K. So you're in for a very, very nice experience. Oh, come on. There we go. Alright, so the last thing to do is probably 8K resolution. Can it handle it? Especially with DLSS enabled on like performance. Let's find out. Obviously, nobody is out there playing at 8K on a 4070 Ti, but just for funs, let's do this. 7680 by 4320 is now the resolution with DLAA and the same settings. Look at that VRAM utilization, still not maxing out. Yeah, that's impressive, actually. Usually we'd see 12 gigabytes of VRAM utilization spilling into the RAM as well at these insanely higher resolutions, especially at native res. But no, over here, even with epic textures, we're still having an okay experience in terms of stability and VRAM consumption, at least. But of course, it's 30 frames per second. That's pretty bad, obviously. Oh my god, and it drops. But again, enabling DLSS will probably save this, right? Yes, it does. So it's probably still going to drop into the 50s in very intensive scenarios with like smoke effects and explosions and so on around you. But it's getting 60s, guys. It's getting 60s. And performance DLSS at 8K resolution looks about the same as 8K resolution itself. So, yeah, 50 FPS drops sometimes over there. it is actually possible, if you were wondering, to play this game with 8K graphics fidelity. Alright, it's not 8K native, but I bet like a 4090 would be able to play this at 8K native. That's been it for this one, my friends. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Just gonna try to fight these guys over here in this point one last time at 8K. Can we get a kill here? Let's find out. They stole my kill. They stole my kill. Come on. Do not do this to me. God, that was so close. It was also a bit stuttery. I didn't like it. But yeah, catch you in the next one very soon. As always, love you all. Bye-bye.